Hi, my name is Gary Sheetram, and today I'll be discussing the developmental teaching perspective, and in particular, bridging knowledge. Daniel Pratt and Associates describe teaching from the developmental perspective as helping learners cross the bridge to understanding, the bridge from not knowing to knowing. Daniel Pratt states that teaching from the developmental perspective, the teacher's role becomes one of interpreting the curriculum plan into meaningful experiences from the student's viewpoint. It is this ability to serve as bridge or translator that separates gifted and inspired teachers from merely adequate teachers. It does require more than subject matter expertise. It requires special skills in translation as well. Early on in my career as a military instructor, I didn't really possess those special skills in translation that Pratt says is required to help learners bridge the gap from not knowing to knowing. I was confident in my ability to perform the tasks necessary. I was confident in my understanding of the content I was delivering. I considered myself a subject matter expert, but what became frustrating for me was whenever that learner just didn't get it. They didn't have that aha moment. There was an obvious lack of understanding of the concepts that I was teaching. And obviously that was frustrating for me as an instructor who considered himself that subject matter expert. But as Pratt says, simply being a subject matter expert is simply not enough. It requires some reflection on your part to say, not everybody has the same learning style as you, not everybody learns it the first time, not everybody possesses the same skills as you, and so really it's up to you as an instructor to be able to change how you deliver that content, how you state it, the activities involved, and just to be able to encourage that student to see it in a different way, see it from a different perspective. But before you do that, I feel as an instructor you have to see it from that student's perspective. And only until then was I able to really, I think, become an effective instructor and have the ability to actually bridge that gap. Daniel Pratt does acknowledge that his discussion on bridging knowledge is somewhat vague and theoretical. He also goes on to say that there's simply no way around this. He does, however, provide some guidelines for instructors to assist them in helping their learners bridge that gap. I want to just go over a few of those that I have found helpful, and this is not the complete list, which is found on page 137 and 138 of the 5 perspectives on teaching in adult and higher education. First of which is as you become familiar with content and as you deliver it on a more continual basis, you'll come to understand the learner's range of conceptions and misconceptions. And you can use that in future classes to guide you on what may trip other people up. Also, you'll become familiar with the teaching strategies, methods, and activities that make your content more understandable. And once again, this simply comes from experience. You will become familiar with those sticking points and stumbling blocks from previous courses, and then you'll also become much more familiar with the appropriate pace in which you're delivering your content, and you'll develop techniques to help you be able to bridge that gap in knowledge. And then finally, for me, it's just learning how to speak that same language as your learners. It's important not to speak over them, but to speak in a language which they understand.